Louisiana Beer Reviews presents Heady Topper. This was sent to me by Mike in New Jersey. Thank you, Mike. I tell people, don't send me stuff. It's a big expense, a lot of trouble, but he really wanted to send it. I've never seen it sold in Louisiana. I think this hit the market in 2003. And it's from a company called the Alchemist. I think the company's a little older than that. But Heady Topper shows a guy drinking out of a glass and then his head exploding with hops. And he's got a mustache and a beard like myself. He's got a bow tie though. 8% alcohol, this ale. Now I'm not reading this whole essay on the back. American Double India Pale Ale. Not intended to be the biggest or most bitter. Now some people are saying 75 IBUs. They don't list that on the website. They just say 8%. Keep it cold but not ice cold. Drink this beer immediately. We are always making more. Canned on it's illegible. Something 14/20/21. 10/14? Yeah, October 14th. But I can't see really. It's printed on the edge. You can't make it out. Let me see the other cans. Yeah, the other three cans say 10/14, so October 14th, 2021. So we less than a month old. He sent me 4 cans. I don't know what this costs. I don't think it's too cheap. I don't know the price. I just know we can't get in Louisiana. Nice black pull tab, pint can. It says drink from the can, drink from the can. Oh, I'm not going to take that advice. Plus the character on the can is drinking from a glass. I'm going to put this in a tulip. Was filled high too. Glad it didn't splatter. Gets a 100 on Beer Advocate. 100 out of 100 on Rate Beer, 100 out of 100 in the style, and Untappd has it at 91 out of 100, which is extremely high for Untappd. So now I've had a lot of good double IPAs. So is this going to be better than them? I don't know. I don't know much about this product except that I hear people talking about it. Craig Swenson wanted to send me some, and I just said I hate to see people spend a lot of money and take a lot of time to send me a product. And he thought I was like saying don't send it, like rejecting it. I wasn't rejecting it. He ended up sending me some nice stuff. Thank you, Craig. I just don't want the impression to be that I'm like explicitly or even implicitly implying that people should send me beer, because I'm saying no, don't do it. I don't want people to go to that expense. I'm not going to send beer out. We get so much here, I would never run out. So it's just like I just hate to see people, like I say, go to the trouble and the expense. But I do appreciate it. Now it looks orange on camera, but with the sun shining through it, it's yellow. But it's orange with the sun shining at it. Orange gold. Okay, so nice looking beer. Does it look anything? Now Michael Komaroff was saying this was like the original New England style IPA, and people used to wait in line for it and all. They're saying on the can, drink it fresh, we're just going to keep making more. So might be common in Vermont. Isn't that where it's made? Yeah, Stowe, Vermont. All right, now enough of the don't send me beer thing. Although I know people will, and I do appreciate it. I mean, I really appreciate it. Smells like typical DIPA, but a little smoky hint, which I don't understand where that's coming from. Yeah, it's peated. No, it's like a wood smoke, which I didn't expect. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that out of this clean glass. Unexplainable. Piney, yeah, little citrusy, and white bread. And it's not so hazy, really. It's translucent. I do see some chunks, though, all about. But it's not like the glob of like batter that you see with some of the indie IPAs. Nice ascending bubbles. Let's go with the taste. Beer Advocate saying 75 IBUs. Seems like it. Seems like it's high IBUs. That makes sense. 8, and then 75. Round off to 8, 7.5. Those usually work together when you have the IBUs lining up with the ABV. Like Stone, what is it? 6.9 and then 70. It's really bitter. It's got to be 75, and the bitterness is building. Body, high, medium, not quite heavy. Finish, sticky, dry. The flavor is just extreme hot bitterness. They're not trying to be the most bitter, they're saying, but they're not, obviously not trying not to be the most bitter either. Very prickly carbonation. It's almost like some menthol in this, mint. White bread, crust. On the bitterness scale, 5 out of 5 hop cones. Basically 4.75. Let's just say 5 out of 5 hop cones. Sweetness scale, pretty sweet. And the flavor, 4 out of 5 sugar cubes. So it's an intense product. It's bold. It's bold. It's a high gravity ale. Dense hoppy finish on your mouth. Tremendous amount of American. I would give you the malt lineup and the hop, but I didn't see that. They didn't give them ingredients. If you must pour it into a glass, like they show on the front, you may find that some of the hop resins have settled to the bottom. That's right. And some of them are even out and about in the beer itself. I hate to see how many video reviews there are for this one. I'll never catch up on my beer reviews. I'm falling so far behind. Not because I'm not keeping up, really. It's just there's so many I gotta do. Listen to, watch, listen to. I don't know if it's the best, but it's right up there with them. Parish Tesha Tickles. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Bayou Tesh, right? Tesha Tickles. I get confused with the Western Louisiana breweries. That's an awesome one too. So I can't say this is better than that, but it's right up there with it. But there's a lot of great DIPAs. It's hard to say what's the best. There's so many. There's a lot of dreadful ones too. Honestly, that if they in the B range, you're happy, you know. And there's just a lot of them everywhere. Some companies seem like every week they're coming out with a new NEIPA, D NEIPA. It gets kind of like a treadmill, you know. It's sort of like the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. And it may be good, very good, lower excellent, excellent, occasionally outstanding. It's just kind of like redundant. You know, but this is different a little bit. It's got more character in that they're not trying to say, well, I know y'all don't like bitterness, so we're gonna make it fruity and hazy. It's only semi-hazy, really. It's not really that fruity. It's piney and it's extremely bitter. And I always say I like the bitterness, extreme bitterness. My father says, why would you want to drink anything that tastes bitter? I don't understand that. I said, well, it's good to drink. All right. I'm going to see about these hop resins. Okay, so I think it's very nice. I'm going to give it a high score. I'd pay $4.99 a can for it, you know. Don't know if I go above that. That would just be a little bit overboard. But people go overboard. Family owned, 100% independent. Solar power brewery. Oh boy. A certified B Corporation. Oh boy. Whew. Oh, yikes. Oh, I don't know if you can see all that gunk. Yeah, you can see it, I bet you. Well, they did warn about that, did they not? And I went against their best practices. Is this live yeast? Is it can conditioned? Perhaps. I mean, it's dynamite. Does it live up to the hype? Well, I guess it does. I mean, in Louisiana, there is no hype. It's basically a non-entity around here. No one talks about it. Except in passing sometimes, like, I saw Heady Topper once, and then people say, you lie, it doesn't exist. No, I'm just joking. But around here they talk about the ghost and the machine and Tesha tickles and such things, which are very, very good. Especially the Tesh. Is 8% a knockout beer in my case? Not in my case. I mean, I'm dealing with these 12% monstrosities sometimes, and even on occasion 14% calamities. So when you get so like acclimated to it, 8% is like light in a way. In a way. But I'll give it 100 out of 100. 100 out of 100 in the style. I mean, that's getting kind of crazy. But I don't see why I wouldn't go 98 out of 100. Yeah, I think that's fair. So, and you might say, oh, I researched your DIPAs and you have a number of other ones you gave the same 98 to. It could be true. I'm not going to go research it. It's kind of strange that a viewer would go research that, but I guess people got different interests. I'm usually tasting it and on to the next, and 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 tasting it and on to the, in an endless and ongoing and cyclical, repetitive cycle that has been going on and on till the break of dawn since 1996, February 96, over 25 years. It does not end yet. So that's what I feel comfortable with. So 9.8 out of 10 on an outstanding double IPA that does not taste like cake batter, that does not taste like lupulin powder, that does not get you depressed down in the dumps and question the future of the world of craft beer. But no, it's great. If they sold it in Louisiana, I'm sure people would buy it. It'd be very popular. But we don't get too many imports, meaning out-of-state beers, because they all been chased off the shelves by local craft beers. We get some Mississippi and Texas, of course. There's Pontoon coming in hard from Georgia, coming on strong. Naturally, we're going to get terrapin because Miller, of course, is going to make sure we get terrapin. They're not going to allow that not to happen. You know what I'm saying, but and terrapin does do some things like this, some high anxiety beers. You know what I'm saying? That will cost you $18.99 a 4-pack, things like that. We just don't tend to get them around here. We just get more of the recreational terrapin products. But anyway, Cigar City was making a foothold, but I don't think they can make a beachhead. They got knocked off the beach, you know. I liked Cigar City and I was promoting it, but it just could not gain any traction. And you'll see some, you know, high lie here and there, lingering, going out of date, with only me trumpeting it, everybody else ignoring it, which I think is terrible. But anyway, enough of that. An outstanding product. Thank you, Mike. And so, les bon temps relais. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all go to Vermont and tour the brewery and turn lead into gold.